ZDT's Amusement Park is a family entertainment center turned amusement park in Seguin, Texas, which is about an hour outside of San Antonio. Despite its small park charm, I consistently rank this park just as good as, if not better than, all other major parks across the state of Texas due to its atmosphere and small but solid collection of family rides. But why am I so in love with this park? Find out in this review. ZDT's opened in 2007, which, although that is almost 20 years ago, I would have guessed that this park had been around longer. The name comes from the three children of the park owners, Zach, Danielle, and Tiffany. The park opened with 5 indoor attractions before slowly adding additional rides to make the transformation from FEC to amusement park. The first attraction to be added were the go-karts, and the first water ride was the Raft water coaster. When adding attractions, this park seems to value quality, which is not normally the case, especially with family entertainment centers. Whereas many full-fledged water parks do not have a water coaster, ZDT made this their priority on the water side. The buildings of ZDT's are all repurposed, having once served as an agricultural buildings and a grocery store. The go-karts, for instance, are inside of a grain processing warehouse, and there's even still a train car sitting on property to remind visitors of the railroad tracks that used to run through the park. And I do like trains. The big splash that this park made was in 2015, when they partnered with the Gravity Group to build the world's first modern wooden shuttle coaster. Not only was this massive family coaster able to be crammed into a small plot of land, but the speed and thrill of this coaster, like the park, can match some of the best in the state. And that record-setting vertical spike is something truly special to see on a wooden roller coaster. As for attractions, the park has 2 strategically chosen flat rides. Dizzy Toucan is small enough that it might not be too scary to those scared of larger rides, though hanging from a pendulum is a bit freaky for many. This ride offers strong forces, both dizzying forces from spinning around, and positive G's from the downward swings. Despite its small size, it does pack a punch that can make me really dizzy. On the highest upswings, I can also get a small pinch of airtime, though this is not as strong as some pendulum rides out there. Despite its small size, Dizzy Toucan is similar in strength to some larger pendulums, and probably is comparable in forces, at least to me, to Riddler's Revenge at Six Flags Over Texas, since that pendulum actually doesn't do a lot for me. The parachute drop is a large but enjoyable family drop tower that has a long cycle while offering varied views of the park. These drops offer a bit of a small drop feelings, especially for those who might be a bit more scared to ride, but should be fairly mild with regards to drop feelings, especially for seasoned riders. Still, having a scary but moderate to low thrill drop tower allows thrill seekers to have a ride to enjoy while still leaving the ride accessible to younger children or adults looking to face their fears. The other outdoor attraction is the go-karts. While these are sort of indoors, they do run outside for a bit and are located with the rest of the outdoor rides. These offer a solid layout with a large spiral columns that can offer laterals if you get going fast enough. Go-karts are not my favorite, but these offer more forces, even if the racing element is mute, since you really cannot pass anyone on this track. And a neat feature of these is that the outdoor doors can be closed, so a small special indoor course can be used in the event of rain. The park used to have a silo climb rock wall that opened as the tallest auto belay wall in the world. This has since closed and been removed from the website. Although an iconic way to greet guests and pay homage to the silos on site, With another indoor rock wall, this attraction was a bit redundant, and was a bit more for older guests or those seeking a rock climbing challenge, so it was never truly that popular with guests. This closure, combined with a few other areas that ZDT is starting to pare down in my most recent visit, are just signs that this park is looking to downsize as a whole, including trying to sell their signature coaster in Switchback, as the owners are looking to retire. None of these minor removals really affects one's visit to the park, at least in their current state, so it is still a great place to visit. But it does seem like the days are numbered for this park, so I would encourage visiting sooner rather than later when you're making plans about ZDTs. Though likely, they should give everyone plenty of notice before removing Switchback. This area also houses 2 party rooms if you want to rent out space for a large group. The one building used to contain a second arcade, but this has since been consolidated into the main building while lowering the number of video games being offered. For a large group, prices are actually pretty reasonable and include admission to the park, so I can understand trying to cater to large groups. However, I have always seen these buildings empty on my visits, so they're obviously not that popular. This is likely due to the fact that small groups and families can have parties their own way due to the relaxed admission structure of the park. All kids are required to purchase a wristband, but adults can get a walk-in pass if a kid or someone in the group pays for admission, making it easy for a group of kids to come chaperoned by an adult group. Furthermore, food and drinks are allowed inside the park as long as they remain outdoors, either in the midway by the attractions or in the water park, making it super easy for groups to have parties on their own. Besides the outdoor attractions, there are 3 water rides and a collection of indoor attractions. The water park is anchored by the Mad Raft water coaster. This really looks like one of the more basic and lame water coasters out there, and in some ways, it really is. But my favorite part about water coasters is being pushed up the hills, and in that, this water coaster excels beautifully. Most drops are rather bland, but the finale offers a twisting course that can get your raft swaying quickly. On my most recent trip, this part wasn't as strong as I feel it was being taken with a bit more speed that did not allow for my raft to be redirected and rocked around as much as on some of my previous visits to the park. Still, even if it is not running in peak form, it is a really nice ride with a super short wait. I would much prefer riding this water coaster over the ones at Slitterbahn, since I don't want to wait 60 to 90 minutes for a Master Blaster when I can wait 5 minutes and lap this water coaster many times. Even if Master Blaster is slightly better. The other tower offers 2 slides. The Viper is an enclosed turning raft slide that can get your raft really swinging around on the turns in a way that can feel out of control. Compared to other tube slides, this is a bit more in the thrill department and shows just how much ZDT cares about quality attractions. To add even more re-ride value, you can also use a mat to ride down this slide. The mat normally adds a bit more speed throughout the course, though you lose that rocking back and forth that you get with the tube. The third water slide, Viper's Tail, is a short triple down mat slide that is standard as far as a thrilling slide with decent drops. As it is easily squeezed onto the slide tower, it is a nice addition to round out the water park offerings as a whole. The water park features many tables where guests normally leave their belongings. There are a few lockers over here, but no one really uses them. If you need them though, they are cheap at $10 for the day, with a $4 refunded if you return the key, so only $6 in total, at least when I use them, which is really unheard of for a solid water park nowadays. Despite buying one on my first visit, I found them very unnecessary since going back, as you can easily leave valuables or items in your car and return to the parking lot throughout your visit. So on-site storage likely is not necessary at this park. Additionally, I feel generally safe leaving my few things that I have at a table since this park is a very nice family vibe. So I'm really not too concerned with a few things I might have, like my shoes, that I might have to leave out while I go on the water slides. As for the indoor attractions, the arcade games greet guests and offer a nice mixture of games. Being all set to free play, this is nice to be included with admission. None are super special to me, but most kids seem to really enjoy bouncing from game to game, and since that is the main demographic for this park, I'd say it does its job as a nice arcade. The newest game here, I believe, is the Connect 4, which arrived late in the 2022 season. There's also a big jungle play gym for kids, which is nice for the youngest of guests. In the back, 3 attractions are crammed together. Trampoline thing is a nice way to bounce, but as an adult, I think I'm a bit too big to really get good flips on this type of ride. The rock wall offers an easy, medium, and hard side, which gives it nice replay value if you're trying to build up to the hardest side with your skills. Even on a busy Labor Day, the wait for this was still pretty short, with a quick attendant putting people on all 3 sides. So it fits nicely into the park for what it is. For thrill seekers, the MaxFlight Simulator is tucked into the back corner of ZDTs. This ride suffers from very poor capacity, as only up to 2 riders can ride per cycle. Fortunately, lines of ZDTs won't be long, so it fits well into the overall ride lineup. But you may want to go here early on, or if you see a short line. The screen visuals are old, but this ride will likely, depending on the cycle, hold you upside down for a while, giving you really nice hang time. You can customize your experience to an extent by picking from a few different themes and choosing which elements you'd like to experience, but this process seems confusing for me and doesn't really seem to offer that much, at least as far as I can tell from what I've tried. As long as you get held upside down for a while, then you've gotten a great experience on this ride. Finally, Switchback. Switchback has a solid first drive, especially for its height. An airtime hill that I feel is a dud, but also that has made me feel like I'm going to fall out of the train on a few rides with the airtime I've gotten from it. A set of wild and harsh turns that have you thrown around a lot, with an overbank that can be truly intense and slightly painful. The final spike offers a really unique sensation, though not as much on subsequent re-rides. Then, going backwards adds to the chaos while having an extremely painful and intense moment on that overbank. As a family coaster, it is wild, harsh, filled with solid drops, all while offering one of the most unique gimmicks in the world. Its pacing is fantastic, and I've ranked this coaster as highly as the 2nd best coaster in the state of Texas. You can find out more in my separate review. As for operations, this park tends to have shorter hours, normally about 6 hours per day, with the water park opening an hour later and closing an hour earlier than the park. However, ZDTs will have every ride up and going as soon as the park opens, and I've rarely, if ever, seen closures on my visits, so you should be able to rest assured that you can do everything in a visit. This park is also great about staying open even in bad weather. Although yes, outdoor rides like the water slides and Switchback will have to close if there's lightning in the area, they will stay open in light rain, and the park will reopen them as soon as possible following rain or lightning closures. If severe storms are in the area, it might ruin your day, but a large rainstorm coming through for an hour or so should not damage your day at this park at all. Unlike on my visit, say, to Outlaw Pass, where all of the attractions essentially shut down for the afternoon after a strong rainstorm came through.
What is your favorite item on the menu?
I am normally pretty cheap when it comes to theme park food. So I'll eat before and or afterwards and skip buying food at a park despite enticing deals from either Six Flags or SeaWorld. But ZDT's amusement park makes their food relatively affordable, and they have some interesting options. Most basic food options are about $6 to $10 for the standalone item, whether that's a burger or chicken tenders, and then $4 more to make it a basket. The park heavily tries to upsell their eat and play combo, giving you a combo meal for $10. But I feel this isn't too great of a deal as far as savings, and it does kind of limit some of your options when it comes to food. Additionally, the park will not allow you to use your membership discount when purchasing friend tickets to add on the eat and play combo, as I did try to do that once. The interesting food items include the fried sides. They have fried mac and cheese bites, which are little nuggets of Kraft macaroni and cheese and are a super delicious snack, as well as others such as onion rings or even fried pickles, all of which seem like a nice, affordable snack. They also sell a souvenir cup, which offers discounted refills for the life of the cup. They used to be 50-cent refills with an additional discount from your membership, but now are closer to 92 cents, as a regular drink refill is close to $2. Although it is nice to see the regular food prices haven't gone up much, drink prices have over the last few seasons. Lastly, the food station is not the quickest, as a small line can take a bit to get through, and I've waited easily 10 to 20 minutes for food before. I do wish they could make the food process quicker, one, so they could sell more, and two, just to make the process easier for guests instead of having to wait around for 10 to 20 minutes to get my food. As for price options, ZDT's is one of the most affordable parks in the state of Texas. Regular family entertainment centers charge per ride at close to $7 or $8, which makes those parks expensive. Most FECs with a coaster do offer an unlimited wristband to allow attractions to be experienced, but these can range from $40 to $60 per visit depending on the park. ZDT markets the all-day wristband at $35, but you can easily get discounts to about $27.99 or $29.99 depending on the day, if you pre-purchase online the day before. The only other park offering comparable pricing like this in Texas would be Wonderland in Amarillo, Texas. But for coaster enthusiasts, you'll likely want to pay for the upcharge wristband at Wonderland so you can ride Texas Tornado. At ZDT's, everything is included. If you're only interested in Switchback, they do offer a $20 wristband for that, or at least I know they used to. Though I'd highly recommend trying everything because this park is incredible. The bigger question comes to whether you need a membership. The first time I visited, I just bought a day pass, and then I wanted to keep going back to ride Switchback. If you live near or around San Antonio, it will likely make sense to go ahead and get some type of season pass to return throughout the year. These are a bit pricey at $113 a piece, or your $35 admission plus an additional monthly fee. The real benefits can be seen with the premium pass at only $135. This gives you 20% off food and merchandise, and since I will actually purchase food at this park, this is for once a reasonable perk I can account for. Plus, this gives you bring a friend free days. I've paid full price to bring various friends or family members with me throughout the years. So this perk pays for itself if you can just bring one person per year. The dates are also some of the easiest in the industry to actually use, as I've gone to the park on Bring a Friend free days even without having a friend to go with me, simply because they fit that easily into my schedule. These days normally aren't any busier than usual as well. Other parks will have buddy days on awkward days in the calendar, but ZDTs should fit nicely with your schedule. They're also posted well in advance and occur at least once a month to at least make the small premium upcharge very well worth it. Overall, how good is ZDT's amusement park? This park is not fantastic for everyone, but really represents a happy place where I can go and enjoy just being at an amusement park without any added complications or stress. This park breaks my overly simplified ranking systems for parks in Texas, as it routinely comes in as the best park in the Lone Star State before I modify its stats, though it just is not quite that good due to the bigger parks just having more coasters and shows. Thus, ZDT places in a 5-way tie with the best parks in Texas, losing out simply because I like their roller coaster collections better, which, since I'm ranking, I decided to make the tiebreak. ZDT ranks right under Wonderland in Amarillo when it comes to the state of Texas. Wonderland has a terrific coaster lineup, despite having just 4 unassuming coasters, though its flat ride collection and operational policies do hold it back from being a truly incredible special gem in the world. Six Flags and SeaWorld are not really far ahead of ZDT. There are many things that ZDT does much better than those bigger parks. For young kids in the 6 to 9 year old range who are just building up to facing larger rides, ZDT offers a nice niche between SeaWorld's kid-friendly shows and animals and Six Flags' larger coasters and attractions, making it the best park in Texas for that age group, in my opinion. Any way you slice it though, this is one of the better small parks out there, and one of the better parks in the state of Texas. How much do you love ZDT's amusement park? Which rides here are your favorite? And what food is your favorite from their kitchen? Because I haven't got to try it all yet. Let me know, and as always, Toucan.